Hi, I'm Dr. Natalie Green, and it's my absolute honour and privilege to have been asked to record a session for you today as part of This is Private Practice by my dear friend and colleague, Jo Muirhead. She's asked me to talk a little bit to you about my experience of private practice, and to be perfectly honest, it's been pretty mixed. I started off, I'm a clinical psychologist, and I started off in 1998 in my own private practice as a solo practitioner. And it really wasn't the done thing back then to work for yourself in private practice. I knew I was taking a risk doing so, but I took a pretty calculated risk and got a balance of some contract work as well as hoping to get some referrals from my local GPs. I worked in a country regional area in Western New South Wales. So, of course, within a week, I was really, really busy, and I really haven't looked back. I was so busy doing the do, working for myself, seeing clients day in, day out, and I absolutely loved being my own boss and working for myself. But if I look back now, I had no systems in place. In fact, I think I probably let about $100,000 in services not be billed because I was so busy, and I just thought, oh, well, whatever. I had enough money coming in that I was getting paid, and it felt good to be independent. But after only 2 years of doing that, I thought, well, there has to be another way. And I was really lucky in that I caught up with a wonderful friend and colleague, and we decided that we were both working crazy hours, billing the same amount, and working for ourselves in private practice. And we really had just bought ourselves a job. So we decided to combine our services and set up a company together. So that was as of the 1st of July, 2000. So we're coming up to 20 years that I've owned the company that I've had in place. And there's been so many learnings throughout that time. Myself and my business partner got on really, really well. We were very like-minded and so similar and focused. And we ended up loving what we did, becoming the largest regional provider in New South Wales for psychological services. At one point, we had 9 different locations, 7 administration staff, and 18 psychologists. And we really were the preferred provider for many large organisations, and we had a huge variety of work and a great team of staff. However, about 9-10 years in, my partner and I, at the time, had a falling out. But we look back now and we're best of friends, and we both have our own private practices separately and have maintained a fantastic relationship. But when I look back, it was that we were both in different stages and times of our life. She's 10 years older than me, and she was focused on serving her clients, doing the do, and staying small. And I wanted to grow bigger. I had greater aspirations, and I wanted to continue to look for different contracts, all sorts of things like that. I just realised that we had different needs and different expectations, so we went our separate ways. And we maintained a really good relationship. So that's important, that you're able to do that and not have things go so badly wrong that you lose really good friendships. Yeah, sure, it took a little while for us to work through things, but yeah, it was more important for us to be loyal to each other and have our friendship. So that was a big learning for both of us. And probably some of the other big learnings were that when you have such a big team, a lot of the role actually became around staff management, juggling staff issues, keeping on top of all the administrative requirements and statutory requirements that are really common in private practice. And I kept loving what I was doing. I loved working with the clients. However, I really didn't love the administrative side of things and the management of staff. I simply wasn't trained in that. And so, we set up a lot of systems, surrounded myself with a really good team, and I hired a practice manager. And that was key in helping offload a lot of the issues that were taking up my time. And I've always been a bit of a workaholic. Let's face it, I like to be really busy, and my mind is always wandering off to come up with what fantastic opportunities are there for me and for our team. And so, whilst if you're from the outside looking in, it would look like, things were really successful. There were lots of really positive things going on. For me, I felt like it wasn't enough. I really didn't know what was going to be enough. But what I did know was that my workaholic nature resulted in my health suffering significantly. I wasn't really good at setting up boundaries and sticking to them. I felt that I had to be in there all the time, seeing people, pulling my weight, doing what I was expecting everyone else to do. And ultimately, I was exhausted. I wasn't very happy at all with how things were going. And it took a major health crisis for me, almost dying, and a number of other significant issues and consequences to that. And I've now developed a lifelong autoimmune condition. And whilst that was really tough, and I was torn in many, many directions, I still kept pushing through, and it still wasn't enough for me to get the learning and the 4x2 hits over the head that I needed. So I kept going, not enjoying what I was doing. However, I started to realise that I needed to think differently. There had to be another way, that working in private practice was still really important to me, but not at the cost of my health, my time with my family. It just wasn't worth it. So I made some big decisions. And thankfully, I was able to transition myself and my team and move outside of this model. My staff moved from employees to independent practitioners with lots of separate support, and they've all gone on to run their own private practices successfully. So I was able to shift the way I was thinking about things to, well, if they're all able to work for themselves with the skill set that they need to run successful private practices, then rather than me feeling that I'd let them down, they'd betrayed me, which, there was a period where I felt like that. It wasn't actually the case at all. That by rethinking things and reframing it, I've actually been able to go, well, hang on. I actually must have taught them well. If they have the skills and the ability to succeed in their own private practices for now 6 years since I closed my private practice down, then wasn't that worth it? That the gift of being able to enable lots of private practitioners to work in regional areas of New South Wales with the skills they need to run their own practice, the systems in place, the consistent flow of clients, has to have been a good thing, right? So I now work for myself, still utilise my company. However, I'm the only employee and I'm happier than I've ever been. I absolutely love it. I have a major contract and I'm doing what I love. I work with clients that I love. I'm happy. And of course, there's a number of learnings I take from that. And I really would like to share them with you, if that's okay. That we can start as small private practitioners, we can grow big and have an empire, as people used to refer to it as, and it can work to a degree, but there's always other things to take into account. And really, the big learnings for me are it's important that you do what suits you based on the stage of life that you're at. When it feels too hard, it probably is. So make a choice that's better for you, that's more suited to where you're at the time. The things that I've done over the years that are so important for me have been to get mentoring. That is my key. I still have a mentor. You don't have to stay with the same mentor over the years. As you grow, they can offer different things, but being mentored is very, very important, and investing in yourself and your growth. I'm a lifelong learner, and it's really important to continue to set really clear goals, to have boundaries in place and hold the boundaries wherever you can. That hasn't been the thing I've been greatest at over the years, and I've paid the price. But it's something that I'm certainly becoming much better at. I'm a work in progress. I still haven't got it right completely. But every day I work on the things that are important. And one of the biggest things really over the years is to have self-compassion. Don't be too hard on yourself. We are usually our own worst enemy and our harshest critic. Be kind. Be kind to others, but mostly be kind to yourself. Surround yourself with people that are right for you. I work for myself. I don't ever want employees again, but I have a virtual team that work with me now, and they focus on the tasks that I don't wish to put my time and energy into. They're much better at those things than me. And I have some big contracts and love doing the work that I do. And ultimately, I have more time for me to do the things that I want to do, more time freedom to do what I love as well. So whilst I still work hard on the days that I work, I also have downtime. And I give myself that gift for my health and my family, the most important things in my life. I have more energy, and funny as it may seem, I actually have more money now than I did back then when we were turning over so much more. And it's not always about the money, but it's really important that you do what you need to do for you. So, yeah, there's been ups and downs, but lots of learnings along the way. And do I regret it? No, not at all. They're learning experiences and growth experiences, and they've been a gift, and they make up part of who I am. So as I near my anniversary for having been in business with this one company that I created for 20 years, just know that things change, and that's okay. You'll never get it perfect the whole time. It's really important that you show self-compassion, a willingness to be mentored and to grow and to seek assistance when you can. So that's about it from me. And again, thank you, Jo, from the bottom of my heart for allowing me the opportunity to speak to the beautiful people in your tribe. It really has been an honour, and feel free to send Jo through some questions. I'm more than happy to ask. More than happy for you to see everything and be vulnerable and be real. So thanks again. Have a great week. Bye for now.